Hi, my name's Mark, one of the pastors here at Trillium. I heard an interesting quote last week. It's by Ernest Hemingway, and it goes like this. The world breaks everyone, and afterward many are strong in the broken places. But those that will not break, it kills. It kills the very good, the very gentle, and the very brave impartially. If you are none of these, you can be sure it will kill you too, but there will be no special hurry. What I hear Hemingway saying in that quotation is that life, the world, will break us in our lives, in our hearts, in our morale, in our moral life even sometimes. And we'll do it through the heartache of disappointment and failure. And we can either decide to lean into the brokenness, to embrace it, or we can try to resist it. But if we try to resist going to the broken places of our hearts, then it will kill us. The world will kill us. Life will kill us. It will send us down paths of dead-end ways and destruction. It will destroy us on the inside. And I heard this quote actually by Joe Biden, the Vice President of the United States, at the Democratic National Convention. I was listening to some of the speeches. And he was talking about this in the context of his son, Beau, 46-year-old lawyer, Attorney General of Delaware, dying last year. His oldest son dying, and the grief that provoked in Joe Biden's heart, it broke him, and he couldn't run for president. He had probably been thinking about it, but he just couldn't muster the energy to join in the fray with Clinton and Bernie Sanders. And there are powerful ways that we get broken, and I think one of the most powerful is if we lost a child. A parent loses a child. Or sometimes we get broken in a divorce or a failed relationship with siblings, or breakdowns in families, close friends dying or leaving us, being betrayed in some powerful way. Our body sometimes gets broken and it breaks us too. We lose our health, we lose our finances, we lose a job. There's so many variations of the theme of getting broken. And according to Hemingway, we have a choice in that moment. Not whether we're going to get broken or not, but what we're going to do when we do get broken. Are we going to be able to enter into the brokenness and allow a healing to take place that will make us strong sometimes in that very place, or whether we're going to resist? And I think our instinct is to resist going to the broken places. And the world teaches us in a strange way to resist too. And when we resist, we ultimately allow a dark force to enter into our insides, into our inner life. And it kind of hollows us out from the inside. It numbs us out. It puts us to sleep in some really powerful ways. I was reading a story a few days ago in England of a couple, a mother and a boyfriend, getting convicted of murder of a little 13-month-old boy who had been traumatized and brutalized by them. They decided to live a kind of a drug and alcohol-induced life instead of pursuing his happiness, and they tortured him. And finally, the boyfriend killed this little 13-year-old boy by smacking his head against the table. And the coroner said afterwards, the medical examiner, that he'd never seen an example of this kind of brutality to a young child ever in his whole career. And it makes you wonder, how could that possibly happen? How could the heinous crimes that we hear about, or even sometimes the lesser ones, how could they take place? How could that indifference to other people be possible in our lives? And I tell you, it's because it's built around this idea of resisting going to the broken places. Those of us who follow Jesus are invited powerfully to go to the broken places in our lives and into the broken hearts. We look at him as an example. He comes preaching and proclaiming a way of love. He's ultimately put on the cross, crucified. He's broken through and through. And the Christian story is that God got broken with Jesus on the cross. Even the Son of God is not immune to this. And yet, nonetheless, something comes out of that brokenness, a resurrection, new life, a powerful healing, a new iteration of life that comes through being broken. That's the promise of the gospel. If you go to that broken place in your heart, in your life, you will be reborn again.